big day for the Pittsburgh Pirates because we had a feeling it was coming. We talked to our Odyssey MLB insider last week, Bob Nightingale. He told us it was coming, and now it's official. The Pittsburgh Pirates have locked up the number one prospect in all of baseball. Teenager Konnor Griffin is now, alongside Paul Skeens, the face of the franchise at just 19 years old. They give the rookie a record extension, 9 years, $140 million. It is the largest contract in Pittsburgh Pirates history, and it blows their previous highest contract out of the water, which was Brian Reynolds at just over $100 million. And it's more than their payroll for this season as well. Granted, it's the entirety of the contract, but Konnor Griffin's not going to be. He'll be a free agent at 28, which is not unusual. But most people aren't in the big leagues at 19 years old, and most people aren't getting a big fat contract just a couple of games into their big league career. So this is part of the MLB rookie promotion plan. The Pirates are now going to get a second round pick because Konnor Griffin's on the roster prior to May 15th. And, him and Paul Skeens, that's the faces of the franchise. Are they going to give Paul Skeens $400, $500 million? We don't know. But Bob Nutting, for once, got ahead of things. And he was bugging the GM, Ben Cherington. Hey, sign the kid. Get it done. So I don't have to pay him more money in 2-3 years from now when he might be a top 10 player in baseball. They get it done early, but it's good news for the Pirates fans. It's good news for baseball. Konnor Griffin immediately... we always talk about market the stars. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates are making sure that they are keeping their star in the lineup, the 19-year-old who ripped an RBI double ripped a double in his first big league at bat, and he's had a good start to the season, gets his big contract. Your thoughts on it?
Finally, management ownership of the Pittsburgh Pirates did something sensible and something right. So maybe that will repair the relationship with the fans. And, I hope they got Paul Skeens, arguably the best arm in the National League. Now you got Konnor Griffin, an up-and-coming, possibly megastar in baseball. Maybe people are going to show up to one of the most beautiful ballparks in all of the land there at PNC and actually soak in this product. So, like I said before, I don't live in Western PA. I don't live and breathe the Pirates. I'm a diehard Chicago Cubs fan. And I understand that they're extremely disgruntled as a fan base, so they got to bury the hatchet and go out and support some of these guys. So this is a step, in my opinion, in the right direction. Now, he's only 19 years old. There's going to be some growing pains. You look at Fangraphs and the Zips projections for him this season. Got a batting just a modest 255 with 13 home runs. 74 RBI, 87 runs scored, and 27 stolen bases. If he achieves those numbers, that's exciting stuff for a guy that's not even hit 20 yet. And you mentioned the details and exorbitant sum that he's going to be raking in. I mean, the guy is going to buy a lot of non-alcoholic brews with the millions that he is going to be cashing here in short order. But, Pat, I'm going to throw it back to you real quick because I am curious your take on this. At his peak, let's say when he gets to his physical maturity at roughly 25, 26, 27 years old, Konnor Griffin, what is his ceiling in terms of his overall production? Do you see him as being like a 30-30 guy, 35-30 guy, possibly a 40-40 player? What is the pinnacle of his success, numerically speaking, at the major league level?
Screw 30-30 and screw 40-40. His peak is 50-50, 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. Yeah, he is that good. I mean, there's a reason why people are comparing this kid to Bryce Harper and Ken Griffey Jr., right? I mean, a lot of the times we like to overhype prospects, but Konnor Griffin was the talk of the entire winter, the talk of all of baseball because of what he did last year in the minor leagues when he was 18 years old. In his full minor league season last year between single A and double A, in 122 games, he hit .333 with an OPS of almost 1,000, 21 home runs, 94 ribbies, 65 stolen bases at 18 years old, Brad, and he's 6'3", 220 pounds. By the time he's 25, the speed is obviously already there. 65 swipe bags in 122 games. That's more than one every 2 games. And By the time he's 25, he's going to look like a Herculean freak at 6'3". Hell, he might still grow another inch or two. He might be 6'5" by the time he turns 21. Who knows? Maybe that Jackson, Mississippi frame, maybe that, that late little growth spurt, that Huckleberry Finn growth spurt he might still have in him. Yeah, he's going to be a freak of nature if he's not already. He is a classic five-tool player, and he plays shortstop, if not the most position on the diamond, the second most position behind center field. And the kid, from everything you've heard about him so far, he's as humble as all hell. Great family, great support system. He's wanted this. He's talked about being ready for it. That's his peak. His peak is overtaking Shohei Ohtani for the best. Well, I don't know if you can say he'll be the best player in baseball because he doesn't pitch. Maybe they can train him to start, tossing on the mound. But his peak is overtaking Aaron Judge for the best hitter in all of baseball. That's how good this kid can be. But again, he's 19. It's going to take some time. The average is at 167. He's had 18 at-bats. But, so far, he's shown all the tools last year at 18 years old. And he's in Pittsburgh where, yeah, the pressure will be great. But we talked about this last week. It's not like he's playing in New York City. It's not like he's playing in Los Angeles. No disrespect to the Pirates fans, but, when you only have 3,000, 4,000 fans showing up to a weeknight ball game, it probably doesn't feel like there's that much pressure to perform.
Yeah, definitely is the case. And I think it's honestly a best case scenario for him and that growth, for him to probably mature and relatively rapidly. It does take time. We saw it with A-Rod. We saw it with, prior teenagers that come up in the first few seasons in the major leagues. There is that learning curve. And it's maybe going to take 2, 3, 4 years for him to start tapping into that full potential. But my God, a 50-50 campaign? The Shohei Ohtani of shortstops? That's downright ridiculous. He's got the leather match as well. He's going to be a centerpiece of that offense for years to come. I hate to see it, honestly, as a Chicago Cubs fan, especially if they, retain Paul Skeens for long term. But the Buccos, though, typically find creative ways to screw it up and to drop the ball. But again, folks, if you're in Western PA, you got some of that black and gold attire in your closet. Maybe you got an Andy Van Slyke jersey from way back in the day. Maybe you went old school Barry Bonds before he started injecting the roids with the clear, the cream, and all that fun stuff. Go ahead and put it on and get your butt out there to PNC and watch this kid and watch Skeens, who is back into his normal dominant ways. A little bit of a rough start, but he was been brilliant for the most part in the last couple of starts. So lots to like there in PNC Park. And plus, you got pierogies and you got costume versions of the pierogies, and they race in the game. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point about the pierogies. Now, the Pirates lost to the Padres today, 8-2, and Konnor Griffin ended up, I think it was supposed to be a day off for him. He ended up pinch hitting, and lo and behold, he got a ribby on a sac fly. They ended up losing to the Padres, like I said, 8-2. But the Pirates are off to a good start, man. They're 7-5. And we talked about them the other day. That's the fact that, despite the fact that Paul Skeens got rocked in his first outing, and since then he's turned into pretty damn good quality outings. So the ERA is at 5. It's going to come down shortly, but our producer Brandon Combs was on Pittsburgh from the beginning, saying that he thinks they're going to be a playoff team. They've got two of the brightest stars in all of baseball. So can they get enough good pitching in the bullpen? Can they get good quality starting like they have for the most part so far? The NL Central, your Cubbies are supposed to be the cream of the crop, but I told you the Brewers ain't going anywhere. I'm not a big believer in the Reds, and the Cardinals are probably going to be one of the worst teams in baseball. So a wild card berth is possible, but I think that is going to be, assuming like there has to be another Cy Young caliber season from Paul Skeens. And I think Konnor Griffin's got to, again, that 50-50 season's going to take some time, but I think playing at a near all-star level, if they're going to make the playoffs this year, they would need that from him. And there is no expectations of getting to the playoffs this year. I'm just saying, for this to really become a dream season for Pittsburgh, and you want to talk about when the team is really great, despite the fact that Bob Nutting and ownership has been terrible in the past, if the Pirates are in a playoff chase in August and September, and it's late summer, that ballpark will fill up. It's empty as all hell on most nights right now. In April, it's cold. There's school. In the summer, they're playing good ball. Despite that, you might not want to give your money to ownership. The fans in Pittsburgh will be as excited as they've been for baseball in about a decade. So that ballpark will start filling up in the summer months.